Hey guys, here we go into another film study, and this time we're going to be doing round 7 and 8. But first off, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Um, Hit me up on that Patreon if you guys want to shoot me a couple bucks. I kind of been rethinking the Patreon rewards because I'm really strapped for time right now. I might be starting a new job in a couple weeks or in a week or so. I'm in school. And I have another announcement. I'll be doing that this weekend, maybe this week. Yeah. I think this weekend. Tomorrow, post-fight video for Sean Porter versus Danny Garcia. Y'all already know who I got. I got Porter. And did you guys catch the weigh-in, like the real weigh-in about Paulie Malignaggi talking all this shit about Porter? Look at his bitter ass. Like he don't even he don't even work his way in. He doesn't even do anything. He just runs in there. Like talking all that shit. Poor Paulie. Finally, just bitter. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're going to talk about Triple G versus Canelo, and there's some really, really interesting stuff that goes on in this round and in the next. And the next one, even though I don't think that Canelo wins the round, he really starts to do some really, really cool stuff. But I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it. Hit me up on that Patreon, follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and I guess I'll do something with that shit eventually. But I don't know what, man. Because to be honest, man, I hate social media. It's not me. Even though YouTube is social media, we can get called all like kinds of meta and shit about it. But we're just gonna get into the video now. So last round, Triple G was stepping forward, and Canelo had stopped fighting off of his own timing, looking to bend Golovkin to his timing and to his fighting style, like he does with all of his opponents, because Golovkin was able to take that timing away from him. So now they're fighting off of Triple G's timing, and Triple G is the one kind of dictating the pace. But Canelo has found kind of a little hole with it. Like when Golovkin would step forward, he started attacking him here. So right at the beginning of the round, Triple G comes out. Look at him step forward, boom, bring his hands up, right? Step forward, feint him, bring his hands up. And we can see Canelo kind of pulling back like that, kind of giving us a tell a little bit, maybe to a pull counter. Then this is really interesting. Now, Golovkin comes in, and he steps forward, and he steps, and normally he shoots the jab, right? He'll step forward, and on the second one, he'll shoot the jab. And look at Canelo's right hand, how he comes forward in front of his face, like he's about to catch it, and then he starts moving off the line. And Golovkin, it looks like he catches him with it, just a little bit. But right on the chin, he kind of boom, yeah, right on the chin. Golovkin making a great adjustment there to that shot and going with the right hand instead of the jab. And we'll see kind of how that kind of stuff kind of plays out. But again, we have Canelo looking to control the space between him and his opponent. Now, this is the biggest problem that Canelo has. And I guess we're going to start talking about keys to victory today. For all of you that have been watching, loyally watching all of these videos, notice that Canelo, like, let's just go back to the beginning. Look at how Canelo controls the space. We talk about it a lot. Having an active guard, feinting, probing with your hands. And Canelo's not doing any of that. And it allows Triple G to feint, and then walk him into this right hand, based on the patterns that he's already seen. Then when Canelo does control the space between him and Golovkin, it's with real punches. And Golovkin is able to catch that one and shoot his own jab at Canelo. Boom. And I'm not sure if Golovkin's jab lands, but again, just like Sergey Kovalev, when Kovalev is countering that right hand over the top, boom, bam, every time that jab comes out, it makes your opponent hesitant to lead with you. And because Canelo he's not feinting, he's not probing with the shots, he's not setting anything up, right? He's not feinting a lot. He doesn't have an active guard. He's not able to keep Golovkin thinking. Golovkin's able to only focus on the reactionary parts that Canelo has. Again, stepping forward, right? And this is an interesting thing too. So Golovkin does this a lot, and Canelo usually waits for Golovkin to kind of get stale, right, and sit there, and then he'll start throwing punches. And this one winds up being really interesting because this is one of the first time Canelo throws punches without stepping first, right? So he starts it with that uppercut, and then he kind of steps with this jab, right? And then Golovkin starts looking to counter him immediately. And that's going to also make Canelo less keen to throw those combinations as well if Golovkin's countering. But if you notice, the combination starts with Canelo not stepping and flashing the lead hand and putting Golovkin on the defense, and Golovkin stays there with him, and then boom, begins to counter and come forward and follow Canelo. Boom, boom. And see how he sees that jab is open, right? He sees that that lead hand is coming out, and he's about to pump it again. He's able to slip it. Now, it doesn't look like this punch lands when you watch it in real time, but because Canelo turns his head all the way around, he gets punched in the back of the head. Boom. Now, on this note, one of the videos that I wanted to do next week was talking about, like, you know, tinfoil hat theories and stuff, and I can't find it. I watched every stupid fight on the undercard, so I guess it's in between fights that it happens. So if anybody has the full Golovkin-Canelo airing, or knows where to find it with no breaks, no adulterations, just the whole stream, send me a link to it so I can find it. But there's an instance in there where Chepo Reynoso is telling the referee's on here, he's like, no, Canelo, Golovkin, and, you know, he starts going like this, boom, and like touching the back of his head and like turning this way, and trying to tell the referee that Golovkin punches on the back of the head a lot. But if you notice, throughout all of these right hands, whenever the right hand comes, look at how far away Canelo turns away to get away from the right hand. He does that when he's on the ropes. He moves really far away. If you see in the round 5, when he turns away from that right hand that catches him right on the neck right there, bounces off of him, he does a lot of really turning away, and I think that it was part of their game plan to get Golovkin DQ'd. Tinfoil hat, you know, but every time he turns away from the right hand like that goes to the head, it winds up hitting him kind of in the back of the head because he's turning away. And I think he was looking to make it look like it was Golovkin's fault. And I was going to do a whole video on it, but I can't find the goddamn clip anywhere, and I'm not watching those goddamn undercard fights anymore. But anyway, Canelo not feeling super comfortable controlling the space again, not feeling control. Look at how he turns away from the right hand again, right? So if it comes wide, right, if he throws like an overhand right, he might be able to catch him on the back of the head again, on, you know. But anyway, let's see. Getting back to the film study. Sorry, guys. I got to finish this one up pretty quick, too. Anyway, the jab comes out and starts feinting him, and you can see that Canelo is looking to counter the jab, and Golovkin's paying attention, right? So now what does he do immediately? The jab comes out, and then Golovkin starts coming forward, and look at how he feints him. Feint, right? He gives him a couple feints, boom, boom, before he lets his jab go, because he's waiting to see if Canelo is going to control him, or not control him, if Canelo's going to counter him with the right hand, because he just kind of showed his hand with that right hand counter. Okay, I don't know why that clip is in there. Oh, so this is in there. Again, Canelo has no way to control the space between him and Golovkin, and it allows Golovkin to do stuff just like this. Feint forward, right? So he comes forward, he feints, and he gets Canelo to bring his guard out, show him that left hand, and he's able to come in, boom, and throw the left hook. It doesn't land, right? But that's not the point. The point is that Canelo doesn't have any way to control the space, and he's the one that's constantly being feinted, getting put out of position, right? Like, look at how close that shot was to actually landing. He gets Canelo to bring his glove forward, right? But he does do it. He does read Golovkin's hook before it matters, but he's constantly controlling Canelo and basically having Canelo do whatever he wants. Then again, coming in, shooting the jab right here, and you can see the right hand coming over the top, right? Canelo's hand gets like definitely in the way of it. As you can see, he hits his glove and it stops him from countering, but you can see that Canelo has to worry about the right hand constantly. But this is where it starts to turn around for Canelo, and you get to see some really interesting stuff. So Golovkin's following him, and boom, look at how Canelo feints him, right, with this really wide hook, and then he's able to sneak that jab in there. And the jab doesn't work, right? It doesn't land, but that's not the point. Look at how effective that feint was. Golovkin was going to do this to him again. Wait, this. Boom, he was going to do that to him again. You know, not land a shot, right? That's not the point, right? But what does Canelo do? He just has to throw one feint, boom, and then Triple G's like, oh, what's up? What's up? What you doing, boy? Right? So he doesn't wind up in situations again like this where he's on the ropes just eating shots. Because remember, he's the one that's being reactive. So if Golovkin does his homework and he does everything right, he's going to be able to use all the knowledge that he has about how Canelo defends each shot, how he defends the jab, how he defends the right hand, how he defends the left hook, how he defends the right hand to the body. He's going to be able to use that information, right, to throw a right hand and then come up with the left hook when Canelo tries to counter him, right? So Golovkin has all the control of Canelo. He's basically able to dictate what he wants Canelo to do based off of what punches he throws or what punches he probes. But look at how effective this is, right? So Canelo coming forward, shooting the jab, right? And then look at him duck right here. How he feints him right here just a little bit, right? And then he ducks down, boom. And then Golovkin, instead of being there going pop, 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 oh, what do you think? What do you think? And then catching him with the shot, Canelo's able to move off the ropes with these little feints and get out of the corner and start finding ways to mitigate Golovkin's ability to counter him, basically, and to control him. So it puts him basically in the driver's seat. And then again, shooting the jab, and then knowing to turn all the way away and get away from the right hand. Another way to find a way to get off the ropes. Now, this was an interesting adjustment, too. I like this a lot from Canelo. Golovkin goes in, and he uses one of those probing right hands, right? Just probing shot. And I'm starting to see, like, he has, like, this little timing. I don't know if you can see it, like, super clearly, but he comes forward, and he kind of comes in like this with his right hand, boom, right? He kind of rolls with it inside, bam, right? And it has, like, its own little movement, right? Where normally he's just shooting his jab, bop, bop, right? And he'll come, boom. And he'll kind of, like, give this little roll, and then sometimes when he's doing just his probing right hand, it's like, boom, boom, right? But he has this little roll, and I think Canelo has picked up on it. If you watch it again, well, let's watch that one, too. Bop. It's hard to see, it's really hard to see, but he goes forward with it, and then he starts coming down. But on this one, it looks much more obvious. Come on. And you can see him kind of walk and roll into the shot, right? And then Canelo's able to pick up on it, slip, and throw the left hand to the body. I think it gets blocked by Triple G, but it stops Triple G from landing a punch. And if Triple G's looking to set up that left hook, right, he's looking to set that left hook up off of the uppercut that Canelo had been using previously. So it adds a new wrinkle to his defense. Ooh, and then great work from Canelo right there. Knowing that the right hand is coming, right, every time he shoots his jab. So he shoots the jab, pulls off, and then comes back and starts piecing Golovkin up, right? But he knows that the right hand is coming, right? And then is able to come back with those shots. And it's exactly the same as this one, right? Shoots the jab, boom, and moves off the line. And Golovkin doesn't move off the line. He stays there. And Canelo's able to make an adjustment off that right hand, baiting it, boom, and landing some shots. Very interesting stuff from Canelo. But then we wind up with situations like this again, and you can see the difference when Canelo's not feinting him, right? He gives him a little bit of a feint here, and then Golovkin responds to it, right? The little probe with the lead hand, boom, and you see Golovkin bring his gloves up, but that's usually just the trigger for him to throw the right hand. So what does he do immediately? Throws the right hand. Goes back to probing, controlling him with the jab, and then again, look at the dip, right? When he steps forward with the right hand, and then Canelo just knows to move off the line and get away from it. And again, look at Canelo's head whipped all the way back, supporting my conspiracy theory right there. That's all I'm saying. And then again, look at, very interesting. I think Golovkin has figured out that Canelo has figured it out too, and now he's baiting the counter, right? So now Golovkin is worried about him moving off the line, moving to the side, boom, and then trying to set those shots up. So he's feinting and he's baiting them. And notice the really interesting thing is if you look at Canelo, right, look at how much more energy he's using than Golovkin, right? When Golovkin misses a shot, or like he's using these probing shots to set up his punches, right, there's no energy in there, right? Look at how he uses no energy to get Canelo to flip off the line, right? And like, boom, move off the line. And then look at all the energy that Canelo uses when he throws his punches to back Triple G up, right? trying to time him on that timing. Again, goes back to that timing where Golovkin steps forward, and he's able to bait him into those counters. And let's see if this one lands. It might land on the back, yeah. It looks like it lands on the body. But Canelo uses so much more energy because he puts all his weight, all his power into those shots, trying to make them really count. So that's just a really interesting wrinkle on its own. But anyway, then we have Golovkin coming forward, and look at this. This is beautiful. So he knows that that Canelo is looking to move away from the right hand, and also he knows that he's looking to counter it, right? So instead of throwing it to the head so that Canelo can move off the line like this, he comes forward, the counters come, then he starts coming forward, probing jab. He gets Canelo to jab with him, which is fine for Golovkin. He doesn't mind. Shoots the jab, pulls back, shoots the jab, and look at how he does that same rock. He telegraphs his right hand, and then Canelo, instead of pulling away and doing this, he's trying to duck it this time, but Golovkin reads it really well and is able to kind of walk him into that right hand. And you can't really tell if it lands. But the point is that he's making an adjustment. That's the important part, is that he's paying attention, that he remembered to try and do that. And that's the end of that round. Now, the 8th round is also really interesting. You get to see a lot of interesting stuff. So right away, Canelo starts jabbing to the body, right? And right under that Golovkin jab, right? Boom. And then move off the line. And look at how he anticipates the right hand coming. He pulls off all the way off the line, turns his head away to try to make a little bit more space. Now, this one's really interesting. This clip, and I don't know why it's so short, but Golovkin is following him. He's about to take that step, but Canelo looks to start setting up his shot, but look at how he eats this jab right here. Boom, and it throws Canelo way off balance. Now, the reason that Golovkin is able to do this is because Canelo has this habit, right, of being like this. Oh, I do all this stuff. And then before he throws a real jab, he brings his hands up like this, and he tightens his guard, and then he, boom, lets that shot go. So Golovkin is able to read that it's not going to be a real jab based on the fact that Canelo doesn't bring his hands up. He's just trying to time Golovkin coming forward. As you see, Golovkin's about to take that step, right? He's about to step on his front leg, and boom, is able to catch him like that by using a little bit of head movement, and also knowing that Canelo is looking to set up a combination on him, and he's able to break his rhythm. Boom. And again, this is exactly what I'm talking about. The very next scene, Canelo goes, his hands are down here. He starts moving up into Golovkin's space, and then he turns away like this, but he has his hands all the way up like this, right? And then he starts shooting the jab. Golovkin slips it, boom, lands his own jab, and then lands his own right hand right there, right on Canelo's cheek, right? Great shot from Golovkin. And based on the fact that Canelo is telegraphing all his shots, he's really easy to read. Now, this one's really interesting. I love this clip right here, because this harkens back to what we were seeing in rounds 5 and 6, where Canelo would come forward, boom, bat that shot, and then that would usually be the trigger. That started to be the trigger for Golovkin to throw the left hook. But last time he went to throw the left hook, Canelo came up with an uppercut and caught him, right? So now Golovkin's like, oh, maybe this is a trap. He knows I know what this is, right? So Golovkin feints him, right? Shoots the jab, right? But not a real jab, gets his guard back up and moves off the line. And as they're both moving off the line, Canelo elects to throw a punch, but completely different from all of the other sequences that we've had before. Look at how Golovkin, he tries to bait that shot to see if a jab is going to come, see if a right hand is going to come. But Canelo with the instinct to throw a punch there. But I just wanted to kind of highlight how different that scenario is from all the ones in the previous rounds. Now we got Golovkin coming forward. Now this is fascinating, you guys. So remember all those times that Golovkin, I pointed it out, Canelo, he would flash the lead hand, right? He would go, ha, right? And he would take this huge step, and then he'd go, boom, boom, bah, right? Throw this 3-punch combination or whatever, right? But it was always based off of, like, he might shoot a jab, boom, and then he would take a step after. But there was always this rhythm that he had to get into before he could let his right hands go, before he could throw any punches after. But it would be like a jab, boom, he would step, and then he would shoot forward and then come in with those shots. This time, he doesn't do any of that. Golovkin is just standing in front of him. It looks like Canelo's about to shoot a jab, right? And he does shoot the jab. Golovkin predicts it well, but Canelo stays there on the line with him and doesn't move forward, right? shuffle forward, and he just throws a right hand, and it completely throws Triple G off, and he's able to land that great right hand there. And then again, Canelo does shoot the jab, right? And look at how he hops forward. Golovkin reads it and is able to get away from those shots because of the fact that that's Canelo's timing. That's how he sets the shots up. He tries to catch you, I don't know, coming forward. Let's actually watch that one more time. So he takes a step forward. Yeah, and it's not even on Golovkin's timing where he's stepping on the front foot. He was already on his way back, rocking back. But you can just see the huge difference in the way that he does that. Now, this is also some really interesting stuff from Canelo. And notice all of those scenes in the last few rounds where Golovkin is the one coming forward, boom, doing this, probing with the jab, right? Stepping hard with the jab, bop, bop, coming with the right hand, probes, right? He's the one doing all the weight shifting, the transfers, the feinting, the head movement. But all of a sudden, in the 8th round, Canelo starts coming alive, right? So Golovkin's like eating a jab, and then Canelo's sitting there moving forward, brings his hands up, and Golovkin knows that's the timing, the jab's coming, and then Canelo ducks down, feints him here, and then he's able to control Golovkin, keep Golovkin on the outside. Golovkin's like, what is he doing? Oh, he ducked down, that means uppercut. Oh, he ducked this way, that means left hook to the body. And then Canelo's able to just take a step back, and fire a jab to the body. And Golovkin hasn't figured out when or how to time that yet, so he's not looking to counter. But again, Canelo in the 8th round coming alive, feinting to the outside, feinting to the inside, catching him with the jab, right? And because he's the one, he has Golovkin reacting to him, he's able to get away from these shots. And then, again, not really setting these shots up, stepping forward with the jab, right? Steps forward, takes a huge step, telegraphs the right hand, and then he's back to square one. Now, again, Canelo is the one. Now, this clip is really interesting, you guys. I just wanted to. People talk about Triple G not having any defense, right? So Canelo's in his shell defense, right, where he's got like this. His shoulder is turned. He's not straight up, right? Straight up means a jab, right? But he's kind of like this. That usually means left hook, right? Because he's like this. It's usually the same tactic he would use. Oh, paw. Get that jab to come out. As you see, Golovkin bites on it, right? And then Canelo, he comes forward. Oh, and he probes with the right hand because that was another one of the Golovkin counters to that, right? Because he was baiting those pawing shots with the jab so he could come with the left hook, and that's what Canelo's waiting for. Boom. But look at how he paws with that jab, or with that right hand, right? Paws with that right hand, throws his left uppercut, but look at how he gets the glove up to catch Canelo's left hook before it lands. And that's after a pawing shot. Boom. Beautiful defense from him. Great job. Now, this scene is really interesting. I want to point this out. So, classic Golovkin coming forward, shoots the jab. He slips the first one, ducks the second one, and then comes around, right? Boom. Comes around and like spins backwards to get away from the right hand. Notice again, turns his head away from his opponent, right? Now that's really interesting because now you have, and again, Canelo's not feinting. He's the one reacting to Golovkin, so that's what puts him in bad positions. Have him countering the right hand or the right hand feint that Golovkin is starting to use. And now Golovkin comes forward, probing with the right hand, and Golovkin's like, shoots the jab, shoots a feinting jab, right? So it's very similar to the last one, where he comes forward with the jab, comes with another jab, and then Golovkin ducks the second jab, and then after he ducks the second jab, boom, he spins out to get away from the right hand. So after that first jab, let's just go back real quick. The first jab comes out, boom, then Golovkin shuffles forward, feints the second jab, Canelo bites on it. Now Golovkin's just waiting for Canelo to come up before he throws his right hand, but Canelo has made an adjustment, and he comes up, boom, with an uppercut. Oh, shit, got him. Oh, man, beautiful work from him right there. I'm not sure if Golovkin would have thrown the right hand, if it would have landed, so I'm not sure if Canelo was thinking about that either, but he times it really well. And makes an adjustment and lands a great uppercut on Triple G. Another great adjustment from him. And then again, Canelo not controlling Golovkin, right? Gets his hands up. Well, in this scene he does. In the last scene, he's letting Golovkin dictate. He does catch him with the great uppercut, but in all the other scenes, it usually winds up that he gets hit. So now Golovkin's coming forward, and then Canelo gets in his high guard. Golovkin goes, oh, that means he's going to jab. So he starts stepping forward, gets his gloves up, and then Canelo feints him and goes low, and then comes up with the jab right there. Just beautiful work right there. Just a simple feint, and then uses a jab to move off the line. And then we have Canelo. And now look at the stark contrast between these two scenes, right? Ducks down, boom. He ducks down, gets Golovkin to duck down too, away from a shot, and then comes up with the jab and moves off the line. And now Golovkin is coming forward, and Canelo's not feinting. He's not doing anything. He just goes into his high guard, and boom, Golovkin is able to feint him with the jab, 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 get him to turn away from it, and then as he's trying to spin out on that front foot, Golovkin's able to land a shot to the body. And you can kind of see the stark differences between those scenes where Canelo is feinting and probing and not doing those things, and how effective it makes Golovkin to be the one to get Canelo to go first. As you see, he shoots the jab, shoots the jab, shoots the jab, and then he gets Canelo to commit basically to the first defensive move, which is just spinning off the back foot and turning away, and he's able to use that information that that's where Canelo's going to land a right hand to the body. But really fascinating stuff. I'm going to watch the rest of the fight with film study eyes and then see if there's anything else that's super important. But as we saw, and I think there will be, if there's definitely if there's more feinting from Canelo, right, giving his opponent different looks, boom, doing that kind of stuff, I definitely want to include that, because as you saw in this fight, or in this round, it was super effective against Golovkin and creating space for Canelo to get off the ropes, get back into a better position, and begin setting his punches up without getting clocked again and falling further behind on the scorecards. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit me on that Patreon, Facebook, all that jazz, and yeah.